After Clara's husband's passing, she had done something no one had expected of her. She had traded in her mansion for a humble old trailer. Everyone wondered why she had made such a drastic change in her lifestyle, so much so that her new neighbors, at one point, felt compelled to call the police. They hadn't seen her for multiple days and feared for her safety. However, when the police arrived, they couldn't believe what they saw. But before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. The community had loved Clara for as long as most could remember. She had always been called a woman with a heart of gold. She often helped the needy, did a lot for charity, and was a good overall person. It surprised the entire town when she decided to move out of her estate after her husband's passing. Though moving into an old trailer home wasn't completely uncharacteristic, people did fear for her safety. People far and wide knew her face and knew she had money. Living in a trailer certainly didn't have the safety precautions that her old mansion used to have. What if someone would rob her, or worse, hurt her for her money? It had been the reason why the Clark family had been so worried about her. They hadn't seen her appear outside of the trailer for multiple days now. Normally, they would see the light turn on or even a shadow move within the home, but as they kept a close eye on Clara's home, they had yet to see her. Instead of calling the police, Maria decided to check herself first. The sun had already gone under, painting the sky in different colors of orange, red, and purple. That should be the moment to turn on the lights, but instead it was pitch black inside. Maria felt uneasy going over to Clara's home. She took a deep breath as she stood in front of the door. Clara is just fine. I'm probably just overreacting, she thought to herself as she pressed the doorbell. However, as she could hear the faint sound of the bell ringing through the thin walls of the trailer, she didn't see any movement inside, nor did the lights flicker on. Then she suddenly heard a sound that nearly made her scream in terror. She heard a sound, but not from any place, but from underneath her. She could hardly look down, but when she did, she saw how the pet door had moved, and there was now a beautiful cat outside bumping against her leg. Maria could still feel the shivers running down her spine from the stress she had put herself under. Was this Clara's cat? Maria quickly went back inside her home. As she dialed the number, she patiently waited for the respondent to answer her call. Maybe she hadn't stayed long enough at Miss Clara's front door. There was only the cat still perched at the front door. Luckily, it wasn't long until she heard the famed words, "911, what's your emergency?" Maria immediately told the 911 dispatcher everything she knew about Ms. Clara and the strange aura she had felt around her old trailer home. "I fear for her safety. I haven't seen her for multiple days, and normally I see her almost every day. I am afraid something might have happened." The dispatcher listened diligently and noted everything, asking a few questions to gather more information about the old woman and the situation. "I rang the doorbell just before I called, but there was nothing." Then the dispatcher stopped her, asking a question that Maria had seen coming. "Isn't she just out of the house or on a trip?" Maria shook her head at this before answering. "No, she would always tell me when she would visit her family or friends, even if she went on any sort of holiday. She would even tell me when she had a doctor appointment. Because of that, I am certain she is still at home." The dispatcher agreed that they would have to check. After hanging up the phone, Maria waited near her window. It wasn't long until she heard the sirens coming closer to her home and that of Miss Clara. When they came into view, she noticed that it wasn't just the police, but also the ambulance. Stepping into Clara's trailer, the officers stopped dead in their tracks. The space, small and unassuming from the outside, unfolded into an unexpected world of luxury. As they moved further in, the officers marveled at the elegant furnishings. Each piece, though lavish, was chosen with a discerning eye, combining comfort with class. The living area, though small, was equipped with the latest entertainment technology, enveloped in an ambiance of understated opulence. The juxtaposition was startling. Outside, the trailer blended in with its modest surroundings, but inside, it was a pocket of elegance. The final room of the trailer was as immaculate as the rest. The officers stood in the center, pondering the enigma of Clara's life. What compelled a woman, known for her generosity and open heart, to seclude herself in a world of hidden luxury? While examining the lavish interior, one of the officers brushed against a seemingly decorative panel. To their astonishment, it swung open, revealing a hidden door. The officers exchanged a look of disbelief. Behind this unassuming facade was a passage, a secret artery running through the heart of Clara's trailer, promising untold stories. The passage was narrow, its walls lined with photographs and keepsakes, like memories tucked away from the world. As they ventured through, it became clear that this was more than just a hidden space. It was a vital part of Clara's recent life. Emerging from the other end of the passage, the officers found themselves in a secluded part of the trailer park, shielded by thick foliage. It dawned on them how Clara had managed to come and go without notice, her movements a mystery to her neighbors. The discovery of the secret passage raised more questions than answers. What was Clara doing that necessitated such stealth? Standing at the threshold of the hidden exit, the officers concluded that Clara had been living a double life. By day, she was the grieving widow in her humble trailer. By night, a shadow moving through secret corridors. Amidst the grandeur of the trailer, the officers discovered something far more telling. Clara's diaries and a stack of old letters. The writing spoke of a soul yearning for change. Clara's words, etched with longing, painted a picture of a life unfulfilled after her husband's passing. Clara spoke of feeling watched, of whispers in the shadows that followed her. These entries hinted at a troubled past, a life punctuated by unseen threats and hidden anxieties. As word spread about the luxurious interior and secret passage of Clara's trailer, the community was engulfed in shock. Neighbors who had walked past the unassuming trailer every day struggled to reconcile the reality with the revelations. Questions about the secrets she had kept and the life she had led behind closed doors dominated the town's gossip, with more questions arising than answers. The police delved into her connections, uncovering links to individuals who had faded from her life years ago. Among the names that surfaced were those of past friends, associates, and a distant relative. This relative, in particular, stood out due to a history of disputes and unresolved tension with Clara. Their relationship, marred by disagreements and strained interactions, painted a picture of a familial bond that was anything but harmonious. The police unearthed details of an inheritance dispute that had soured the relationship between Clara and her relative. This feud, stemming from the distribution of a family estate, had caused deep rifts and bitterness. The feud had not just been about money, it was a struggle for recognition and respect, elements crucial to Clara's sense of self. As the investigation progressed, it became clear how these past disputes might have influenced Clara's decision to embrace a life of secrecy. During their investigation, the police stumbled upon evidence of an unknown ally in Clara's life. This person had not only helped construct the secret passage, but also seemed instrumental in aiding Clara's transition to her new life. The identity of this mysterious helper remained elusive, shrouded in the same secrecy that enveloped Clara's recent life. Despite their best efforts, the police found little to no information about this individual. The discovery of the benefactor led to speculation that Clara might have been planning something significant. In a breakthrough, the police uncovered surveillance footage from a nearby camera. The grainy images revealed Clara using the secret passage, validating the theories about her covert movements. This footage was the first visual confirmation of her activities and offered a new avenue for investigation. The officers watched intently as Clara, once thought to be reclusive, moved with purposeful secrecy. The footage further showed Clara in clandestine meetings with an unidentified person. These encounters, always discreet and carefully timed, occurred just out of the public eye. Who was this person, and what was the nature of their meetings? The officers pondered over the identity of her meeting partner. This person, who had managed to stay out of the spotlight until now, seemed to play a crucial role in whatever Clara was planning. The surveillance captured their movements, but their motives remained shrouded in mystery. The investigation shifted its focus, aiming to understand the purpose behind Clara's surreptitious activities. Was she planning something that required such secrecy, or were these meetings a part of her desire for a private life? The officers delved deeper, trying to piece together the clues that lay hidden in the shadows of the surveillance footage, each frame a puzzle piece in the enigma of Clara's life. In a remote cabin nestled deep in the woods, Clara was found alive, much to the surprise and relief of everyone. The news of her discovery spread like wildfire, igniting a mix of emotions among the townspeople. The cabin, hidden away from the world, had been her sanctuary, a place where the enigmatic widow had sought refuge, far from the eyes of those who thought they knew her. Once found, Clara revealed the orchestration behind her disappearance. She had chosen the cabin as her safe haven, a place where she could find solace and security. Clara disclosed the reason behind her secretive actions: threats from a distant family member over a contentious inheritance dispute. These threats had driven her to seek anonymity, leading to the creation of her hidden life. Her revelation shed light on the fears that had propelled her into seclusion, fears that had remained hidden behind the facade of her everyday existence. The chapter delved into Clara's need to escape the oppressive threats and find a life of simplicity and peace. Her decision to retreat to the cabin was more than a physical move. It was a symbolic escape from a past that had become increasingly burdensome. In the cabin, Clara spoke of her new life with a sense of contentment. She embraced her independence and the anonymity that her new surroundings offered. Clara revealed that the luxurious interior of her trailer was a calculated facade, a cover to mislead others as she meticulously planned her escape. The opulence, contrary to her true desires, served as a smokescreen, a distraction from her ultimate goal of vanishing into a life of simplicity. This confession unveiled the depth of her planning, showing the lengths she went to protect her true intentions. Reflecting on her past, Clara spoke of her late husband's controlling nature and how it had stifled her freedom. His influence had lingered long after his passing, shadowing her life with expectations and constraints. Her new path was a testament to her resilience and her commitment to living authentically, on her own terms. In a moment of reflection, Clara apologized for the worry and confusion her disappearance had caused. However, she stood resolute in her decision to live her remaining years according to her wishes. Her apology was not a concession, but a recognition of the impact of her actions, balanced with the firm belief that her choice was necessary for her peace and happiness. As the story drew to a close, Clara's final thoughts were those of acceptance and hope. Her journey, marked by mystery and discovery, symbolized the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter. Away from public scrutiny, Clara looked forward to a life of tranquility, a life that was genuinely hers. Her story, a blend of intrigue and liberation, left a lasting impression on the town and on those who had known her.